What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're going to take a quick look at Crossout. Now, Crossout is a free game on the PlayStation Store, and like always, I just kind of downloaded it, jumped in, and I'm going to test it out that way. Alright, well, let's jump right in. Now, since this is my first time actually playing Crossout, I was bombarded with the, hey, check out the links, and this is kind of a tutorial type things, but I just want to jump into a match and even see if I like the gameplay. Now, with the half second I spent actually looking at this menu, I see there's little missions that you can do, but most of them are locked behind a player level requirement. So right now, all I get is a machine gun on a typical vehicle. The very first thing I notice is driving is kind of wonky. Like, you'll barely turn sometimes, and you'll just, bank completely to one side. And as you see me here, I'm running into rocks and things like that. Now, one of the biggest things about Crossout is customization. You'll be able to completely customize the vehicles that you use. So I'm sure you'll be able to get boosters and better suspension and better tires and more armor and weapons on your vehicle to really kind of balance out and tune those issues. But right now, as a brand new starting player, this is kind of one of the things that I'm like, I don't like this. Like right here, I'm following this guy, and I just turn to kind of close the gap and, head to a straight line to him, and boom, I run straight into a wall. I'm not a huge fan of, hey, upgrade your vehicle so your suspension and your steering isn't garbage. I'd rather it start out as, hey, it's pretty good, but you can fine-tune it and make it a whole lot better. That's the first thing that I've noticed with Crossout. Now, from what I can tell, there's two zones, the enemy zone and our zone. If the enemy gets in our zone for an extended period of time, we lose the match. Or you can just simply eliminate the whole enemy team and win the match that way. There is not a respawn timer. Now, I just jumped in, so there might be other game modes, but the certain game mode I'm playing right now, it's kind of like a capture the territory, but with just two territories. Now, I'm defending mine right now because I'm like, I don't know what to do, really. And an enemy wave comes in and they just pretty much slaughter me. I have noticed sticking with your team is key in this game. And in my next few matches, that's exactly what I do. And we just absolutely destroy all the enemy teams. If you see here, this guy's just sitting still, and I believe he's capturing the zone. You can see the red flare right there. And if you look at the top of the screen, the blue circle's filling in. We actually end up winning this match, and I believe he's the only teammate alive. So we ended up doing fairly well. Now, I played 4 or 5 matches total. I'm not going to show all of them because they're really all kind of the same. But the matches are very quick. It almost seems like the time waiting to get into the match is as long as the match actually is itself. But both the time waiting to get into a match, once you're kind of in a lobby, and the time playing is still very short. Now, I end up going out of the lobby, and I want to see if I can upgrade my vehicle after this first round. It kind of gives you this small little tutorial of things that you can do. It looks like there's several different classes. I end up adding another machine gun to the top of my vehicle, so I have 3 machine guns, and I really notice a big difference. I'm almost unstoppable at this point, and I'm just tearing enemies apart. One thing Crossout really offers is there's a ton of customization. There's several different weapons. It looks like they all require certain amounts of energy to power them, so, you can't just, equip 47 machine guns on your vehicle and run around with, super armor or something like that. So there is a sort of balancing mechanism with, weight and power and things like that. but I would assume if you're just starting out like me, you're not going to have access to any of this stuff. And so it's going to take you a while to get to the point that, you know, some of the other people I'm playing against are already at. Now, I add that additional machine gun and I'm ready to play again. I hit the battle button and then boom, it's a short little load screen and I'm in a match. Now, that was not a split clip, so you can see how fast it is. Other than the small little loading of the textures right at the beginning of the match, I was fully in with really no latency or lag issues. Here's a few examples of just really a team destruction derby. I get hooked onto this guy, I'm trying to stop and back up, but we just end up spinning around in a circle. And then, you know, I see an enemy over here, I kind of head over that way, we end up getting this assist, and boom, I get hit by another ally, and then he ends up hitting someone else, and they're just kind of all spinning each other around. Now, there might be a, you know, chainsaw you can attach to the front of your car and just ram people. I'm not exactly sure. That might be an element in the game that, you know, offers a reason for this, but I gotta say I'm really not a fan of the, you know, just the collision, and the steering is just really affecting, you know, my gameplay. I'm sure you can internally adjust the sensitivity, but to be quite honest, the sensitivity isn't really the problem. It's, you know, you turn slowly sometimes, and then sometimes you just, you know, turn all the way, regardless of, you know, how you're controlling your thumbstick. And yet again, here's just a big crash melee with all of our allies. You know, this is the only issue that I've seen with the game. It's still very fun, even though, you know, this thing is just kind of slightly off-putting. And as you see there, just a couple of minutes and the match is already over. The matches are very quick, and then if you look in the bottom right side of the corner, next match is in 13 seconds. So Crossover is very fast at pairing matches once you're in a lobby. Now, I did spend a little time customizing my vehicle. I tried to change the front of it or the chassis, and I didn't have anything else unlocked, so I ended up just putting the old one back on. I've still got the 3 machine gun turrets on the top. I would have liked to pick up another weapon, but I couldn't. And then you can actually put a 4th machine gun in the back right there, but I didn't have sufficient power to power a 4th machine gun. So I really couldn't do anything. But there is a ton of options. If you look right here, there's just an absolute ton of options that you can use to customize a vehicle, really kind of make it what you want it to be, and, you know, just enjoy kind of making your own creation and going out and just shooting enemies. After realizing there's really nothing I can do to customize my vehicle at this point, maybe just change the color, I'd just go ahead and jump into another match, and we had less than a 30-second wait before we're already playing a game. We get a very short victory again in this match, you know, probably just a couple of minutes, and, you know, boom, we got another 15-second wait to play a game. All in all, Crossout is a very fun game that I really think if you spend a lot of time with it and really got to customize your vehicles and, you know, put shotguns or missile launchers or, you know, all the other weapons that they have, if you spend enough time on it and really unlocked all those things, you could really make a creation that's all on your own, and you and a couple of buddies get in here and just kind of, you know, shoot everything. I could see this being a very fun game for being very, very cheap at that $0 price tag. I would recommend picking this up if you're into this kind of customization game. You definitely need to spend more time in the customization area and know that you're going to have to grind a little bit to get enough parts and weapons and things like that to actually be able to customize. You're not going to just jump into your first match with your complete custom vehicle. Well, that's going to wrap it up for my quick look at Crossout. I hope you were able to kind of see a game that you weren't even thinking about picking up. Maybe it interests you. Well, if you enjoyed this video, show me some love, leave me a comment. If there's anything I can do to improve, let me know and I'll be sure to get back with you. And as always, I'll see all y'all in the next video.